Love is Blind. I was on season 2. I kind of figured out, like, at this point, I'm just going to get under everyone's skin on purpose. So at one point, I'm like, listen, all the women here are beautiful, but I don't find them attractive. The only one attractive here is Vanessa. Vanessa Lachey, the host. And so that got, like, everybody
Everyone going. Wait, Nick Lachey's wife?
Nick Lachey's wife. I'm like the only person. I'm like the only hot one here is Vanessa, and Vanessa's like.
It's better you got it out of the way. The hate, I think.
Has your entire experience in reality, everything that you went through, has that been a net negative or a positive?
Dude, as a result of the extreme hate that I got when the show was first released, a bunch of strangers review bombed the clinic I worked at in Chicago, and I lost my job. I got fired.
What's the craziest thing you've ever had walk in?
Couple of hurries in, they're like all frantic. Their dog just got hit by a car. We take an x-ray of him, and his left hip is completely dislocated. So I'm like going through all this stuff, and they're like, no, I think we'll just take him home. I'm like, at least let me prescribe some pain meds and some antibiotics. They're like, no, he's not in pain. You can't be serious right now. I'm like, look at the x-ray, look at this hip. You know, after a lot of back and forth, they take the antibiotics. We call for an update the next day. He's running in the backyard. He's fine. Oh my God. He's fine. So they're lying. Yeah.
You're listening to Joey Joy Radio.
So what was your favorite show you've been on? Let's start there.
Bro, I've only been on the 2, and it's very, very easy to choose which one I liked more. The first one, Love is Blind, resulted in me getting canceled. So that, it's hard to go that route. As far as the choice.
I was gonna ask you. We can get back into that later. Wait,
I want details about how you got canceled.
Yeah, I get,
bro.
So the second one is your favorite.
Yeah, because the second one, was called House of Villains.
Yeah.
The premise is
that's on TV, right?
As on E. Yeah, right. But the premise is you're the biggest villain from your respective show.
Yeah.
So you're already going into it with like, all right, we're all like scumbags, like willing to do whatever it takes. So it was like a funny show. Plus, nobody's.
Oh, what? I don't know. You take it. God.
Confiscated.
I thought you were gonna hit that.
No,
yeah, I thought he was due.
He's not allowed to have it.
That's not a bait. That was weed.
Oh.
Come on now.
Oh, so we are allowed to have weed.
Yeah.
Oh, let me hit that
weed,
then,
bro.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep you off the vape.
Yeah, no, that wasn't a parental guidance thing. That was he's trying to be a good friend. I'm quitting vape. I'm quitting vape.
Yeah,
all right,
that's like your accountability partner.
Yeah.
Accountability, buddy.
Someone needs it.
That's what it takes these days, man. I mean, everybody I know is addicted to vapes or Zins or both.
Right?
Personally, I'm a Zin guy.
Zen?
Yeah, man. Yeah. I started on the Zins, and the nice thing about these is they're very discreet. There's no like puff of vapor that's going over your head.
Do you have one in right now?
I don't have one in right now, but I have some in my pocket, like preparing to put one in.
Yeah, you might need
ready
one
to go.
A little bit, man. Yeah, very discreet.
How? So I did a Netflix show and did a Max show, and production was very different.
Yeah, tell me about that.
What I was gonna ask you, was there a lot of differences in the production from
Love is Blind
to the
both of them were like, they far exceeded my expectations.
Really?
Love is Blind. So I was on season 2. So season 1, they didn't really know where the show was gonna land.
Yeah.
They didn't have that much of a budget, but
it was a hit.
It became a hit. So
we were in the same boat. We were in the same boat. So I had to handle season 1, like they didn't really know, and it came out pandemic, blew up. So then the season 2 got the huge budget.
Exactly.
We got the fat budget.
Exactly. So it's fun to be a part of a show that's growing like that.
Yeah.
But House of Villains was a season 1, but I thought they did a fantastic job. I mean, it was pretty overwhelming. It was impressive how many people. I mean, there was the 10 of us cast members, but for every cast member, there must have been like 5 associated, somebody doing something.
Yeah.
So pretty big.
So it was on par then.
It was on par.
They were pretty
great job
even
with it.
Yeah.
And
who Chase was on that one or no?
No.
Chase. No, was he not on the villain? I thought
the villain show. So I had Johnny Bananas.
Yeah.
And Johnny Fairplay from Survivor, Corinne from The Bachelor.
Yeah. I remember Corinne.
Anfisa from 90 Day Fiance. Omarosa.
Did you have like beef with people or not?
Dude, by the end of it, you just kind of are beefing a little bit with everybody.
What was the goal?
So there's
a competition.
It's a competition. So you're trying to win $200K, and you have to win certain challenges to like protect yourself or like get into a position to vote other people out.
Yeah.
So just because of those challenges, you end up beefing with just about everybody in the house. Like it's a lot of politicking around, which I mean, I've never done a challenge type show like that. Love is Blind. I guess, you know what, if you break it down, Too Hot to Handle and Love is Blind, those are game shows.
No,
it is. Those are game shows too.
It is. It's just you're not playing like a physical game, you know, you're playing like mental.
You're playing a mental game, and
like
you're
mental warfare.
And you're trying to do two things. You're trying to like convince like this romantic interest that you're some type of way, and low key, here's something that people probably don't talk about. You are low key trying to convince the producers that you're interesting enough to keep around. That's like the part they don't tell you,
bro. So you said I'm backwards, dude. That's the first thing you're trying to do.
Yeah,
that's the first thing you're trying to do. When I first got there, I realized that quick, because I liked someone and they were telling me, nah, baby, them. And then I didn't listen at first, and I went for the one, and then I was like, oh my God, it's a dead end. Then I'm like, fuck, they kick you off the show not for other reasons because you're boring and you lost your storyline. So then it clicks. Yep, what do you guys want me to do? Like, who's the net? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
like, you want to please the producers.
That didn't take shape on my end until really a lot further along. I think in the beginning for Love is Blind, it really felt genuine. Yeah. Like everybody there, they're like, hey, this is a show where we want you to get married. This isn't a Too Hot to Handle like hookup fest. You know, it felt like they genuinely wanted to see like a romantic connection happen.
Do a real experiment.
And we all of us like followed into that. Like we, you know, whether or not in the back of your mind you have this motive, whether or not you might get some fame from this or clout or whatever, that's there. But like we also did try. Yeah. Then you kind of get clues as things go along, where then you see them kind of like, you know, pulling on the strings behind, and then I'm like, wait a minute, no, there is a different game here. Yep. So it took me a little bit longer.
You're still doing entertainment. You're not just finding love. Like you're making a TV show. You know what I mean? Like it's like, it can't be that real if you're doing it for entertainment. You know, like definitely realness. Like there was a couple on my show just had a baby. 3 years ago. Like that is crazy.
That is wild. Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah, it can happen.
You're still making a show. You're making entertainment. Like we're having a real conversation right now. We're making entertainment. We're not talking. Like if me and you were sitting in an apartment right now having a conversation, we wouldn't be talking just like this. We talk a little different.
I think we would.
This is entertainment. You know what I mean? Like
I feel like it's pretty genuine, bro. I mean,
no, it's genuine. It's genuine.
I don't see you. I don't see. You know, I'll tell you why I got into big trouble on Love is Blind, and
I wanted to get to that question because anyone that I ask, like, yo, you watch Love is Blind? Like I know that, like he's a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? No, what happened?
No.
And I watched a good amount. Like I didn't think you were that.
That's because you know me and like you know my sense of humor. And I think it's a lot easier to kind of digest. But
what was the big like?
My mistake. I mean, wholesale. It was
like shake that.
No, people really did fucking hate me. I was just genuine from the start, and even with the strings being pulled, I didn't consciously think so hard about how am I going to be viewed. Yeah, I was like, I'm just going to give this a shot and have fun with it and be myself. Yeah. And then I started finding out that most other people were kind of putting out a very sanitized version of themselves. Yeah. Well, what it boils down to, I think there's like two scenes that really got me in hot water. So one was in the beginning. We're in the pods, so you can't like see one another, and you're trying to like get to know each other's personality and blah blah blah. So I'm in a date with this girl, and I'm like, so do you like going to music festivals? She's like, oh yeah, I love music festivals. So then I'm like, so you know at music festivals when people get up on guys' shoulders, what do you think about that? And she's like, oh, that's great. So then I'm like, you think I'd have trouble getting you on my shoulders at a music festival? Because you're not supposed to ask them like their size or their weight or whatever. So I was just like trying to figure out in like a sneaky way, and I got ripped apart for that. Yeah, I got totally ripped apart.
But
it's hilarious. Is it not hilarious?
No, that's hilarious. You did exactly what you should do. You capture the moment, and you're
not supposed to.
Did you play it? Like, were you thinking that? Like, all right, I'm gonna ask her if I could get her on my shoulders.
So this is how it happened, man. So they make it seem like
that's crazy.
Day one, I'm walking in here and like kind of asking these questions, But the truth is, we've been in these pods doing nothing but talking to each other for like weeks now. And once you've kind of like, you start with, I think it was like 15 and 15, you narrow it down to like 3 people that you're serious about. And I'm like, all right, in order to get to the next part of the show, I have to get engaged.
Yep.
It's not like, will you accept this rose and we go on this like little fantasy getaway. It's crazy. Like I have to get engaged to. I better ask the questions
that you want to
that I need to know before I get engaged, And they straight up say, hey, this is all about like Love is Blind. You're not supposed to ask somebody's height. You're not supposed for the girls. The girls want to know how tall guys are.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Of course they do. And so I'm like, all right, how do I kind of like, find a loophole in the system here?
You gotta ask, like, do you play sports? Were you like?
Yeah, I did ask that kind of stuff. So that was number one.
Like, if I was gonna buy you like a sweatsuit, what size would it be?
Well, that's another question I actually asked. Yeah, so I was asking all these types.
Would you ask what size are you?
No, I didn't ask what size you are. I'm like, so I love buying clothes for my girlfriends. I love ordering clothes, Fashion Nova, whatever. What
big
size?
spender.
Shein, exactly.
The designers.
What size are you? Just like trying to put it. But the way they edited it, they must have seen me in these dates and been like, all right, this motherfucker. Exactly. And now looking back, it's so easy to see because like the producers are like just loving me, and I'm like. Oh, they must think I'm just like a cool guy.
Exactly.
But they're
licking their chops.
They're like, we're gonna fucking destroy this dude. So
you so how much of a after doing that crazy experiment, how much of a factor is physical attraction?
Oh, it's huge, man.
Like,
it's huge. It is.
Give me a percentage
for guys. I'd say like 65 to 70.
The same both ways, or do you think it's different for women?
No,
general. We're talking generals.
Oh, I feel like. I would imagine that physical appearance is important to women, but less important than
it is to men.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
So your hot take is love is not blind.
That's my hot take. And I think by now, like, you got to keep in mind, season 2 was so early and people were so enamored with this concept that, like, maybe they're onto something. Maybe love is blind. This whole time it was blind all along. But no, like by season 6, they're like, love's not fucking blind. We all know what this is. We all know this has been a fucking sham the whole time.
It's a ploy, right?
But during season 2, when it's still the honeymoon phase, and then there's a guy like me who, so that was the beginning of the show. What really sealed the deal for me towards the end, we don't get to see any of the episodes before the air, right?
No,
I don't know if you guys
no.
got to. Yeah. So all of a sudden, these episodes are released over like a 4-week period, and I'm like, fuck, I'm the villain. Like there's no other way to put it. Like the role squarely falls on my shoulders. I'm like, motherfucker. And
wait, you had no idea when you left filming? You thought, dude, I'm the good guy?
I didn't think I was a good guy. I thought I was like a neutral guy at best. Like I thought I was like, all right. I was like, you know what? They'll probably see some of my bad sides. They'll see some of my good sides.
They discover how many months?
What was that?
Like from ending of production to when it released?
Oh, about a year.
Oh, yeah. So I had 6 months. I had a little less. A year's a long time.
It's a long time, but the worst part was, the reunion isn't filmed until after these episodes are out.
Yeah. Right?
And so now I'm like walking into this reunion, and all my castmates, they're like, oh, he's the villain. I'm like, motherfuckers,
you
like,
don't
we were
remember
friends.
Me? Yeah.
Like, literally a month ago, I was at one of their lake houses. Like, all of us were there. It was like a month ago. The weekend before the episodes came out was Super Bowl weekend, and we watched the Super Bowl together. So I'm like,
you're the exact same guy.
Yeah. I'm like, are you kidding?
So it came out now, and they're calling me a dick, so you guys think I'm a dick all of a sudden?
And you know what it is? This is how it felt, and I really believe this to be true. These guys all got a taste of fame.
Yeah.
And they wanted to protect their image.
Yeah.
So they
disassociated.
Okay. It's okay. Yeah. I'm not asking you to stick your neck out to defend me. I'm asking you to at least remain neutral about it. Like, don't like join in with that side, you know? And by this time, I'm like, I guess I'm the villain. So fuck it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
Own it.
point out
Yeah.
all this bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm like, love is not blind.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Double down, baby, double down.
Physical attraction is important. I'm like, one thing I said, I was like, I'm really just like, I'm struggling because they're attacking me. I'm like, listen, getting married is like making the biggest purchase of your life.
Yeah.
Okay, like you have to read the fine print.
Yeah.
You can't just go into it. And then the hosts are like, marriage is a purchase, huh? Like they're like anything they can get their
They
hands
loved
on.
that you said that. They were.
I know they were, and then I go and say, you know what? Love isn't blind. Love is blurry.
Yeah.
Okay, because to me, it's not blind. It's blurry. Like
Yeah.
if you're in love, you'll look past some things.
Yeah.
But you're not blind.
Yeah.
You're not wrong,
you're
by the
blind.
way.
You're not blind.
Yeah.
Like he's not wrong.
No. People don't like the truth, like in that aspect.
But this is what really sealed it off. And to be fair, I did take some liberties with this one. I'm like, fuck it at this point. So at one point I'm like, listen, all the women here are beautiful, but I don't find them attractive. The only one attractive here is Vanessa.
Yeah.
Vanessa Lachey, the host.
Yeah.
And so that got like everybody
Everyone
like
going.
And,
Wait,
and
Nick Lachey's wife?
Nick Lachey's wife. I'm like the only person. I'm like the only hot one here is Vanessa, and Vanessa's like,
Yeah.
and then Nick lays into me, and Nick's like, "This is why you're a veterinarian and not a human doctor." I'm like, bro, the veterinary community is not gonna like that.
Yeah.
I'm like,
He said that to you?
yeah.
Damn.
I'm like,
You
all
did
right,
call his
bro.
wife hot, but that's not a bad thing.
Good. He should
Yeah.
be. He should
That's
be
what I'm
happy.
saying. That's
he
a
should
good
be
thing.
happy. So anyway, I
Nick Lachey, how's he? I never met him.
He's a prick. Anyway,
He looks like
I
it.
kind of figured out, like, at this point, I'm just going to get under everyone's skin on purpose, but it's going to be on my terms, not whatever the fucking show's going to edit. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll be your villain,
Yep,
motherfuckers.
yeah.
So-
Don't cut it up and edit.
Yeah.
No, I had a completely different experience, bro. I got set up like to be the knight in shining armor. Like
that's
I came in like a little late, and the girl was like, the girl I ended up dating for like a while. She's like crying about some dude like broke her heart, whatever. And I like pulled up, and then she was just like into me. Then I was like nice guy. Then I like. Yeah, I don't know. It was just like smooth, and I got off the show.
Must be
but
nice, bro. Must
no,
be nice.
dude, no.
Oh, okay.
Because it's better you got it out of the way, the hate, I think, right away, because now, like, you know what I mean? When me and her broke up, that's when it was like
see.
great. That was the big villain. That was my villain. Like,
Villain arc.
oh my God, like lost 50,000 followers,
No,
endless DM.
50K?
Bro, 50K. And
Those
like,
are dollar signs, bro.
endless DMs, like, fuck you, like, didn't even know, because she got drunk one day on her story and was like saying shit, and I was like, oh my God, like, and then she apologized for it, but it was already out there.
Oh, she apologized?
Yeah,
At least you got an apology,
yeah,
dude.
she apologized for for doing that, because she saw all the shit I was getting online.
Not that it mattered, though.
Bro.
Yeah, no, it was too late. It was too
Bro,
late. It was too late.
my counterpart on the show, she leaned into it. She leaned full force into it. She went out and gave interviews. What was Shake like behind the scenes? 5 things that Shake said about women, or like just like stuff where it's like, my God, these are
like
not
trashing you,
these
like-
are not just like articles. These are like, this is targeted, like
That's
very mean.
crazy.
She went on to write a book about our experience together.
No.
Yeah, she called it "I Choose Myself," and it's like her face on the cover.
Did you read it?
She's like, I choose myself. No, I had to read it, bro.
You read
I had
it?
to read it.
Were you like,
there's
what the
chapters
fuck?
about me.
Was it
like,
fake news, or was she spitting facts? Was she being real?
She was spitting facts, but it was like
Exposing
exposing
yeah.
shit. I'm like,
Private
listen,
shit, yeah.
in any relation, like if you and I hung out enough times, I would have a book's worth of
Yeah.
shit I could say about you. It's
I'm not
true,
gonna
but
do
it
it.
happened
Yeah.
happened between us. It doesn't. It's not like for the world.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Damn, she's selling a book about it.
Yeah. Anyway, she
That's
she like
crazy.
leaned into it fully.
Wait, let me see. Can I see a picture of what she looks like? What's her?
No, let's not even bring her
All right,
into
all
this.
right.
Okay,
I just wanted- I'm trying to jog my.
I know, but and to be fair, we made our peace finally
Yeah.
after a long time. So we were just I was in Chicago about a month and a half ago, and I was out with my new girlfriend and Shane from my season of Love Is Blind.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him, blonde
Yeah.
guy. And
He was on
He was on Too Hot to Handle or Perfect Match.
Perfect Match,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah. And we ran into her, and that was my first time seeing her face to face. I actually invited her over. I'm like, Deepty, hey,
Yeah.
come over here, because I'm like, you know what? Now that I think about it, despite how I got canceled, all the hate that I got, I landed on my feet
Yeah.
in Miami and built a fucking hell of a life
Yeah.
for myself. dude. I mean, it couldn't have worked. Like, looking back,
Like, who are you not to accept what, you know what I mean?
I would do it again because my life is immeasurably better.
Yeah.
Even the hate, showed me who my true friends were.
Yep.
Reminded me that you can't listen to anybody but yourself as far as like what people are saying. And the nicest thing I think of all is like, you always, whenever you meet somebody, the bar is set so low, they're going to love you. They're like, oh my God, Shake, you're the best. I can't believe I hated you.
Yeah.
Because the bar is so low. They're like, this guy's fucking great. I want you to come to my fucking
I get
penthouse.
that the same way, but not that I was a bad guy on the show, but people think I'm going to be like a douchebag. Like, people think I'm going to be like full of my, like, you know what I mean? I guess, but understandable. You know what I mean? Like, the way my socials look, that's part of the gig. You kind of, like, I put up fuckboy, like, thirst trap shit, and that looks douchebaggy to the normal human eye. But then once you meet someone, then they understand, oh, you're kind of playing a role. Then it's like ding, 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 ding.
It's a good way to put it. Definitely.
Like, you play into your strengths, and you do, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
what, how long where are you from?
Chicago.
Okay. And how long were you a veterinarian before?
Dude, I'm still a veterinarian.
I'm saying when, like, how long
have I been a vet?
How long were you a vet before you went on reality TV? Like,
okay.
Like, how long was your vet?
Let me just explain it in a simpler way.
Let me hear it.
I've been a vet for 10 years
Yep.
As of this year, so a decade now. Love is Blind, that stuff, that was a couple of years ago, so I was like a vet for like 7-8 years.
Yeah, so you had been pretty much most of your career.
And yeah, I did, and to some extent, that always gave me some confidence despite all the shit that was going on, like with the hate and stuff. I'm like, I don't care if I'm not famous, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my life's already pretty good.
Yeah, you're a vet.
I'm a vet, and like all these other cool things coming my way, those are going to enhance my life.
Exactly.
But what I saw from some of my castmates is they were kind of like looking at this as their one big shot. And for that reason, they kind of went places that I can't imagine going.
Yeah.
Like, like going along with the lie, even though like it's like hurting some people. I couldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But I can see how it's like it's either this or like nobody's gonna remember who the fuck I am. I guess. All right.
Yeah.
If you want to go that route.
Yeah. No, I've it's crazy. The experiences are very, very similar. Like, you get the same type of people, and it's like the same opportunity. Like, I don't know. It's something you don't really imagine, and then once you get it, you don't want to lose it. You know what I mean?
It's
so then
addicting.
it's like, fuck. So I don't. You like having a whole career. That's why I asked, honestly. Like, you having a whole life set up and a whole career before reality TV. Like, I can't relate with that. You know what I mean? Like, I was young. I was like 23. So
Wow.
like I just graduated college. So like that. You definitely think about it different than me. Like, you didn't need that shit. You know what I mean?
I was
like,
already
you,
at 31,
you didn't need that
31
shit.
when I went on that shit. Yeah, no, it's different.
Has your entire experience in reality, everything that you went through, has that been a net negative or a positive?
Dude,
for,
net huge.
Well, for, not for your personal life, but like for your career-wise veterinarian.
Here, let me.
Like, where did that land after
let me tell
all
you,
that
Let me tell
settled?
you. This isn't stuff I've really shared before on other podcasts, but I think enough time has passed now where I can talk about it more openly. So, as a result of the extreme hate that I got when the show was first released, a bunch of strangers review bombed the clinic I worked at in Chicago. And I'd never met any of these people. There were strangers leaving negative reviews on the internet, and I lost my job in Chicago. So, like, for something that happened on reality TV, even though I am, going to toot my own horn here, I'm an exceptional vet. I'm like really good. And especially down here in Florida where, hate to say the quality of medicine isn't as good as the rest of the states. I'm like a fucking superstar here.
Yeah.
But I got fired because of a narrative that was made on TV and the degree it went with social media.
What were they saying in the reviews? Like, obviously, these are people who had never been to that clinic or that animal hospital. So, what were they attacking you personally, or like trying to make things up about your skill set, or like he killed my dog? Like, what were they saying in the reviews?
They
Killed
were.
my dog.
They
I
were.
was like, why your dog? I'm like, oh, he's a vet.
He's an animal murderer.
They were pretty brief. Sometimes there was just like a star rating, and then just like something like they would mention me by name, and this is what happened. I mean,
This is
basically,
like right when the show came out, or what?
right when the show came out.
And then it was just fans of the show that were pissed off about whatever happened in the show, and they're like,
yeah,
like that is so wild.
yeah,
to me.
that is
that is so wild.
As a
to me.
professional, man, I went to 8 years of school, and
Like,
I lost my job.
Don't people think about that shit? Like,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't
like
matter.
your fucking stupid feelings at home while you're watching a Netflix show. Like, you're gonna ruin someone's career. Like,
Nah, they can't ruin my career.
No, not attempt to.
Yeah,
Attempt to.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah,
attempting and succeeding is the same thing.
Somebody would go out of their way. Do you ever find it crazy how much people actually care?
So I'll just finish out the story.
Like, this is your life. Like, I get it's entertainment,
Go
but
ahead,
to
go
go
ahead,
to the
finish
extent
yeah.
of what you're
So
describing.
I'll kind of get to the upside of all of this. So basically that clinic had given me like a pretty hefty sign-on bonus when I started working there. It was like a year's salary for, maybe not now, but for when I first started. The amount I got paid when I first started, I got that amount as a sign-on bonus.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm not going to give you this money back because you're just, you don't have like a really good reason to let me go. And I have a friend that's a lawyer, and I said, hey, just take a look at this. And I ended up just keeping that money and moving to Miami.
Well, they can't ask for that back. Can
Well,
they
could because it's stipulated that if you leave before a certain time. But the reason why I left was
If they wrongfully, like,
contentious,
if they don't
right?
have a good reason to fire you, then they can't.
it's not worth it for them. They're a big corporation. It's not worth it. So I took that money and I moved to Miami.
Yeah.
And the rest is fucking history, baby. I moved down here. I bet on myself. I'd already made a couple friends here from visiting. Got my license
What
down
year did you move here?
When? It was 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
It was like March of 2022.
Okay.
So
you're getting there.
So honestly, I got my license down here.
I mean, I can say it now. You moved out. Was 1010 the first place you
1010,
moved in? Was that the first Miami spot?
First Miami spot.
That's lit.
And that's a great spot. If you're new,
Sick, dude.
to Miami,
Sick.
That's the life.
Like you have all the amenities, the luxury. Like you're meeting people every weekend.
I'm pissed. My friend had a studio in there and he moved out, so now I gotta like figure out how to use the cold tub in there and shit.
Oh yeah, you gotta befriend somebody else.
Yeah, what the heck? All my friends moved out. You moved out.
Yeah.
No, but you got your own
You
place.
come to my place. Yeah, I have most of those amenities.
Yeah?
Pool and hot tub.
Yeah, you
and
can
all
tell
that
me where
stuff.
after. You can tell me where after.
But really, the upshot of all this, Miami. One of the reasons I love it here so much. I mean, Miami welcomed me with open arms.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. Like when I felt like, you could say it this way, I was being almost like pushed out of Chicago.
Yeah.
That same energy I was getting ×2 as a welcome to Miami. Like I would go out and like everybody was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And just because the show had just come out, this helped obviously with like people were recognizing me. They're inviting me to everything, all the like dope penthouse parties, yacht parties, everything. So I'm like, dude, Miami's the fucking
you're like,
best.
what was I doing in Chicago?
Exactly. And it's such a grind in other parts of the country, New
Isn't
York,
it, dude?
Chicago.
Why?
Here, everything's just easy. Everyone's working still, but it's easy.
So I'm like confused, like what my like grandparents were thinking, like in Pittsburgh. Like, I guess what you have to like, or where the settle, like whoever the first generation was, like Pennsylvania. Like it blows my mind actually. Like
This is it. This is the fucking spot. Philly.
best
I'm gonna
place
be
in
Philly.
Yo guys, best place in the world. Where? Miami.
Oh, for sure,
Miami.
man.
Best
That's
place
just
in the
like
world.
part of the thinking back then. Like you're born
What?
here, you stay here. You know what I mean?
Broward might be a close
It's
Now
never
second.
been easier to move than it is now.
Yeah.
It used to be very tough to like up
can
and
say
move your
South Florida.
family.
Yeah.
Like an Oregon Trail, like it's you can't just move.
This outfit right here is sponsored by L&F. We got a hoodie right here. It's a Supreme Nate Loman collab. Beautiful, if you ask me. These jorts right here, they're 101, so you're not going to be able to see these anywhere else but right here at L&F. These are Poor Parker, hand-stitched, patchwork jorts. You ain't ever seen it. We're back to the episode right now. So where do you practice now?
So right now I work at a couple different clinics. They're in Pinecrest and in Kendall.
So what is that you like what is that like?
It's kind of like a relief vet,
No
but
way.
the thing is,
Like a freelance vet.
Freelance, yeah, like contract.
Yeah,
But I'm pretty much at the same place regularly.
Yeah.
So I have the stability and the flexibility. It's actually it's the best work setup I've ever had. I'm doing what I love. So right now I'm just doing urgent care as a vet.
Like
So-
ER kind of?
Yeah, exactly. So, after most animal clinics close at like 5 or 6, people get home from work and they find something's wrong with their dog. They, something mild from like an ear infection to like they got hit by a car.
Yep.
Oh.
The regular vet is closed and we are open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
What's the craziest thing you've ever had walk in?
Bro, I don't know about craziest, but I'll tell you about a real thing that just happened last week that like really kind of
Crazier pets in Chicago or here?
where I work here, it's less crazy. It's
Okay.
dogs and cats.
Wait, so what were you saying? You were saying what happened last week?
The craziest thing
It's
that
not
you've
a
ever had
crazy
walk
thing.
in?
This will just give you an idea of like some of the bullshit I deal with. So, couple of hurries in. They're like all frantic. Their dog just got hit by a car. We like bring the stretcher out. It's this big lab, like 80-pound lab. He's like all bloody and everything. We bring him in. He's got like some superficial abrasions here. His stifles are all like lacerated. They're like bleeding there. We take an X-ray of him, and his left hip is completely dislocated, like completely dislocated. And I'm like, all right, now that I've kind of gathered the necessary detail, like here's the plan. Like I wanna stitch these things up. I want to give some antibiotics. I want to give some pain meds. The luxated hip, that needs a surgeon. I do surgery, but not like an advanced like hip repair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like going through all this stuff, and they're like, no, I think we'll just take him home. I'm like, no. You don't understand. Like, there's a lot
dog's
going.
fucked up,
There's a
yeah.
lot going on here.
Oh, what?
hit
They
by-
didn't want to pay for it?
He's
Or
hit by
something?
a car.
Yeah, they didn't want to pay, and I'm like, okay, at least.
So then put them down. Like,
No,
what?
dude. So I'm like, at least let me prescribe some pain meds and some antibiotics. Everything else, like, you can wait at least like a day. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? But like pain meds and antibiotics, they're like, no, he's not in pain. I lost it. Like, I try not to lose my cool, but I'm like, are you fucking serious?
Well, so
like,
why did you bring it in the first place?
I know. Like, I'm like, you can't be serious right now. I'm like, look at the X-ray. Look at this
Yeah.
hip. I'm like, look at that. And after a lot of back and forth, they take the antibiotics, they take the pain meds, and they're like, all right, we're going to see another vet tomorrow. I'm like in my heart, I'm like, as long as that's true, I don't care.
Yeah.
As long as you take them somewhere and do
Yeah.
something. So we call for an update the next
Oh,
day.
you called them back?
Yeah, we always call and just see how the pet's
yeah.
doing. We call the next day, and he's running in the backyard. He's fine.
Oh my
He's
God, you're lying.
fine. So they're lying.
Yeah.
They're just like, don't call me anymore, basically. Like, not the craziest thing or wildest thing, but like that happened last week, and I'm like, this.
Can you do anything? Like, are you able to like report that or like?
See,
Because that's got to be
That's like animal abuse.
neglect or animal abuse,
You know,
right?
that is, I think, a type of animal abuse. But then there's the real animal abuse.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to pick your battles.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah, but what quality of life does this dog have now that
maybe
has a broken hip? He clearly can't walk or anything.
maybe they're gonna save up and get the surgery done elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's what I can hope.
Yeah, that's what you
And
gotta-
as far as like a legal obligation, they have none.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's it. I have to just not think about it.
Yeah, that's so fucked.
Yeah.
My buddy is a vet, or he's not a vet, but he works at a vet, and he sends me some crazy shit sometimes, bro. Like, dog's getting hit by a car. I'm like,
Oh my
Yikes.
god.
Yeah, he'll just send me like crazy shit.
Oh.
We had to flip some dogs
Dude,
like liver over or some shit. I don't know. Crazy. So that's why I asked, like, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen?
In movies, is this regular? You guys can tell me. The gallery can speak to. Is it normal, like in movies, to not really feel bad when the people die, but when the dog gets killed or something, it's fucked
That's
up,
real,
right?
man.
Is that real? You guys feel that same, or am I
That's
weird?
super real.
Like the people can die.
Not the dog in like I Am
The
Legend.
people
though.
in the movie, bro.
Not
what?
that dog.
That is the saddest
Yeah,
shit
it's
ever.
always
Oh wait,
awful.
maybe I'm not thinking of. No. I'm talking about the other dogs, like the demon dogs.
Oh, the
or whatever
demon dogs.
You know
No,
what I'm
that
talking
German
about?
Shepherd. Dude, that you
No,
might
no,
just
the German
pick
Shepherd-
the
no,
saddest
no,
case
no.
ever.
No,
The
we
I
like
Am
the
Legend
It was one
dog.
companion.
I was gonna say that was it's one companion in the world, right?
Yeah.
Everyone else is zombies, and he died. That's like the saddest shit ever.
Yeah, man.
But like, so do you feel that way like extra? Like, do you have
absolutely, man. And the reason is,
always animals, or was it like your parents were like, you're gonna be a doctor, and you're like,
people ask me that all the time. People ask me that all the time. It's like, oh, you're Indian, you have to be.
No, one of my really good friends, Indian. His name's Atit, and he's a filmmaker, videographer, and all he says is like,
why weren't you a doctor?
Like he makes like, the kid makes great money. Makes great money.
Yeah.
He's like, my mom is still always like,
could have been
when
a
is
doctor.
med school? Med school. And he's like, they don't get
They're
it.
never gonna
So
let
like,
it
I
go.
guess I don't know.
I can see why I get the question, you know, just being brown and all, but you know, I'll start by saying my parents have always been super liberal. Like that was never really a thing. But I had a vet growing up as a neighbor, and I was kind of fascinated by what he did, and he would see not just dogs and cats, but he would see all the exotic animals too.
Horses.
So in not horses, but like
Parrots.
zoo animals, parrots,
ferrets,
crazy snakes,
weird
ferrets.
shit.
There was a local zoo that he was in charge of. And then eventually I started working for him. Once I graduated vet school, then I was in charge of the zoo. So when you were asking about the crazy animals, I used to have a like 110 species zoo collection under my care. But that was in the suburbs of Chicago, and my life was taking me elsewhere. So,
bro, I'm like an animal freak. Like, I love them. Like, I go to, you ever been to Jungle Island on the cause? Dude, go there all the time. Like, Everglades, I'm obsessed with them. We go to the zoo, me and my roommate. I'm like, freak. We've had parrots that live on our balcony. We had turtles, alligator. Like, we're like weirdos,
that's
honestly.
cool.
Like,
that's very cool.
Like, obsessed with them. So the fact that you had like control of a bunch of that shit, like, that's like a
the coolest with the mountain lions. I would love working with
So
them
sick.
because I mean it's just like a badass animal.
Yeah,
you know what
hell
I mean?
yeah. Is that one of your favorite, mountain lion?
Well, yeah. As far as animals I've like worked on, I'd probably
you
say,
worked on the mountain lion?
Yeah, because so we'd have to.
I need this story. The mountain lion was in the zoo,
the zoo,
not a wild mountain lion.
No.
I was like, oh my god.
No,
still lit either.
I have darted in the wild lions, leopards, hyenas, and African wild dogs.
What, and
as
like
a
check
part of
their
Botswana.
You check their heart rate and shit?
Well, no. So there's this virus going around southern Africa. It's called morbillivirus, and it would affect these African predators. So lions, leopards, the cats, the big cats.
Yeah.
So we were getting DNA samples and blood samples from these just the wild species to try and characterize the spread of the virus, see who had it and who didn't have it.
Yeah.
So that was a research project I did in vet school.
When you say you darted them, you like tranquilized them.
Yeah.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Not like that, but like I'm sure you shoot
Like
it.
tribal shit.
Yeah. No, we had to like load up these things with like a ton of ketamine and like a bunch of like what was that?
They shooting.
What was that actually? Was that a firework?
Transformer maybe?
No,
Car
what was that?
backfiring maybe?
That's never happened before? Because that was a flash.
Not concerning.
Something just happened.
Just an
Something just
explosion
happened.
or something. We're strapped though. We're strapped. We're good. We're good.
Where are we going?
I don't even remember.
Wait, I had a question.
Yeah.
You ever see that chiropractor on like Instagram that does dogs and shit?
A lot of chiropractors.
I don't know, maybe there's a couple people, but they like go, you ever see that? They like snap the dog's
Probably
neck and
like
stuff?
like
You know what I'm talking about? They like feel the shit.
yeah.
And then some of the dogs get they're like angry, then they're like
some of them
oh,
like
oh,
chill
shit.
out. They're
Yeah,
like,
some of them like go to and then some of them get
relax.
pissed at him and like but then he's like helping them.
You know, if you're a chiropractor, there's an additional certification you can get.
Yeah.
Any chiropractor can
A
get an
human
additional.
chiropractor.
A human chiropractor. To
do it on
can
animals.
get yeah, exactly. So it's like an extra thing you go and like study.
Yo,
for
isn't the
and do.
human one kind of fake news too?
I don't know, man. I mean,
like a
I know I wouldn't want
doctor.
Yeah, that's what like he doesn't want to
Chiropractor.
He doesn't want to
I wouldn't. I would. It's not that I don't have respect for them.
They
It's
hurt
just
people.
that's a very tough field to go into, man. Because right off the bat, you have this kind of whether it's true or not.
Stigma.
You know, there's that stigma. It's just like,
Yeah.
how are you gonna get clients, man? Like, it's tough.
I mean, I feel like they stay busy. People think it's like a quick, easy fix.
I feel like they tell you this fix is gonna take like 16 months when like it probably could have been solved, but they're like, We need you here
just milk
every
it.
week. We need it once a week.
You
like-
know, like I just
Oh
feel
my
like there's a
God.
lot of that. God, I hope a chiropractor doesn't watch this and like fucking hate what I'm saying.
No,
but-
I was the one who brought it up. Like,
Dude, what do you got on like dermatologists? Are dermatologists real doctors?
Oh, dude, no, derm's a
Yeah,
very,
they're real.
very
Yeah?
real
They make-
thing.
you
You
yeah.
don't you don't subscribe to the whole. No, I'm not saying that. Just like the whole like, hey doc, look at this. Like maybe it could be
Skin-
Throw some cream on it.
Skin
like,
cancer,
you know.
man. Skin cancer, melanoma. That's like a
Fuck,
big.
I forgot to ask Nick. He said sunscreen is fake news. You saw that?
Yeah, I did.
forgot to
yeah,
ask
I forgot
him.
about that too.
I don't think it is, right?
No, I don't think it
Sunscreen's
is.
not
Nah,
fake
I
news.
feel like you
Like
need that.
when
yeah.
I don't wear sunscreen, I get burnt.
But
and
he's a
then when
smart
I-
guy, so I
But
want
when
to
I
know what his
do wear
logic is.
sunscreen, I usually don't get burnt. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to follow up.
and
with him.
I'd be willing to bet getting burnt is not good for your human skin.
No, it's definitely not.
No.
So what was he talking about? We need
There has to be some
sunscreen.
context there.
We got to
yeah.
follow up with him on that. I don't know.
Yeah,
We
have
need
him back
fake
on.
melanin. If you're pale like me, you need fake melanin, or else we're all gonna die. I have like freckles and shit all over me too. I've had some shit removed, like I had a mole
Skin
on my
thing,
back or
yeah.
something. Like they take a couple out.
I could have done that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come on by the
Did you
animal
take a
clinic.
bullet out? Like, what if I was in some shit? Okay. What if? Let's picture this. We're in Miami. Okay. You don't know what I get into. Okay. I
Yeah.
get into. Bow. Joey got shot in the leg. Can't go to the hospital. We were doing some shit. We can't report it. I call you. Like, can you take the bullet out of my leg and I live?
It
Or-
depends.
Like a John Wick type
Am I
doctor?
working that day? If I'm already at work, I would do it, but I wouldn't get out of bed to do it.
No.
You're gonna
This
have
is
him
like 3
stumble
a.m.
in
This
the
is like
clinic?
3
No,
a.m.
3 a.m. I need my sleep,
No,
bro.
you're getting paid though. You're getting paid.
Yeah, but
Pay you good?
I don't want to mix myself up in that business. I don't want to be
But
a
you
friend.
could, though,
I don't want
right?
to be a friend to the cartel.
You could though.
You know?
If you had to dig a bullet out of somebody.
Oh,
you
I could. Oh,
Yeah.
could I? Could
He's
I?
saying if he's at work,
Could
and
I?
I stumbled in.
Could
with him,
I?
he could
Could
do
I?
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Yeah, I would take pleasure in that shit, man. I
Who's
feel
that?
like I
Keep
was
your
like,
number.
I'd be like, here's my one chance to fucking.
Do you any of your family members or friends or family members like ever ask you to do some like human like at home like quick first? Are you like the first? Or is there like a doctor?
No,
around?
no. There's no, bro. I'm brown, man. There's plenty of other resources. There's like
You say
100
how-
other
how
people.
How often do you get asked to like write scripts?
Well, you know, I actually
Oh my god.
Because
could
some
you do
medicines.
amongst the Indian community, there aren't as many veterinarians. I mean, there actually are like
Yeah.
a handful, but there's not as many. So I feel like to my network, I mean, even non-Indian, to my network, I'm a valuable addition because. Who else is gonna be your vet?
Yeah.
Who else are you gonna ask? You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean? Like you got your friends. This one's a fucking knee surgeon. That one's a dermatologist. You got a chiropractor friend. You'll probably never use that
Yeah.
one, but you know.
No, so that means you should be like the Indian network's first call for your pet. for
Well,
pets.
the Indian network's very big. I just mean my immediate.
Oh, your immediate
my
family.
immediate Indian
Does
network.
the Indian network have pets though?
It's,
I grew up knowing Indians, and I never knew them to ever have pets.
that's
Now that I'm thinking about it,
that is changing now. Before
changing fact.
because I'll tell you why. So like I was born in India, and
I didn't know that. You're
yeah,
born in
yeah,
India?
yeah. I
Grew up in
moved here-
Chicago.
Grew up in Chicago. I moved when I was very young, but nonetheless, and we had dogs in India.
Okay.
And that's at that point, it's like very, very rare to have dogs
In India?
because it's a luxury.
Okay.
You know, if you think about it,
Yeah,
like
yeah, it is.
yeah. I mean,
Feed
people
it,
are
take
trying
care
to
of it,
trying to
yeah.
get by and stuff like that, and then there's just a lot of layers to it. But now it's really caught on, just like it has in really most of the world.
Yeah.
Having pets,
Yeah. We need pets.
need pets.
We need pets. I agree. I think pets are a great thing. Like I think a emotional support dog might help someone more than going to a therapist.
Oh, totally.
You agree with that?
Yeah, man. Pets are pure love, man. Especially dogs. I mean, cats.
Yeah.
Cats are great too. But let's talk about dogs for a second.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I think cats they're just a little more selfish.
Yeah, they're doing their own thing.
Yeah,
they're
they're
kinda,
independent.
They're independent.
Dogs are very dependent.
Yeah, I love that though. You
Yeah.
know, they're so affectionate.
No, that's what I'm
and,
saying. They look at you as like a superman, not just like this thing that feeds me.
exactly. Like, they're a true companion.
All right, not to switch it up like crazy. You believe in marriage? I know you're in a relationship right now.
Dude, I do believe in marriage.
You believe in marriage?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And what like you think marriage is the route like to
I think for many people it is, and I think that is what I want. Yeah.
what would you say like leading factors are to like the divorce rate being crazy high?
I
Like if
mean,
it's like over half of them, I don't know the like exact number at the moment, but I know it's definitely more than half get divorced.
yeah, I read something about this actually. I think the
Is that,
earlier
like,
you get
culture?
married, there's a lot of cultural aspect to
Oh, you
it.
think early? You think
But-
getting married young?
There's a couple things. Let me just give me a second to jog my memory. Can I get a Modelo?
Yeah,
by
could I have
chance?
one too?
This will help jog my memory, I think. Thank you, sir.
Wait, but we need the bottle opener.
Are there people shopping in here right now?
Yeah, there is.
Oh, that's fucking cool.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
No, we're just getting beers. You want one too?
Oh yeah, sure. I was gonna say we stopped. What's going on? Oh man.
Oh my gosh. Yo, you want Snapchat?
Snap? No, just Insta, bro.
Yo, you gotta get on Snapchat. They pay me. Like the actual app pays you.
Oh, really? Oh, that's pretty good.
Like you gotta, if you just blow up your stories.
It's another revenue stream. Absolutely.
Yeah, social media's a crazy game.
Totally.
You never pictured yourself. Hey, thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Being
man.
a social media star, right?
Appreciate it.
Off the record question, not.
Thank you.
Would
Thank you, Cody.
do another reality show, but like based on you, like as a vet?
I do get that question a lot, actually. I think so. Right now, I kind of work at a few different clinics. What I'd really love to do is when I get to the point in my life when I open my own practice, I think then I would be all for it because then all that money and marketing is coming back to me. I don't want to do it for somebody else's practice.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe not even if it was like featuring a practice. It was mostly about you. It doesn't matter what the practice is more of a setting, right? We might not even.
Are you
know
allowed
the
to
name of the
practice at home?
You know.
What's the rules? Like, can you go to people's houses? I mean.
Yeah, you can, and I have. I used to. That was my first job in Florida, in Miami. Sweet, thanks.
I don't think this works. Like,
It's like a little something.
yeah.
but
No, I'm like feeling like it works. It's not like I'm not getting cooked though. It's like Delta 9 or something. It's not like real. You can tell, right? It's like not like. I'm
It's like,
sorry.
it's like
we-
decaf.
Decaf weed.
What'd you ask? What'd you say?
I was asking him an off the record question.
Oh yeah.
We can
yeah.
get back into
about
it.
filming
We
that.
were talking about divorce rates, though. I think.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. Get back to that. Go ahead. To jog your memory about divorce. And
Yeah.
shit.
So one big thing I think the statistics show is if you get married at a certain age, but like before like 25 or something like that,
Yeah.
your chances of getting divorced are higher, and
Yeah.
that kind of tapers off somewhere in
sense,
the
yeah.
mid 30s, and then it starts going the other way again. If you get married way too late, that's also it's kind of like a zone where statistically you're less likely to get divorced.
An age range.
An age
you're saying.
range, yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing.
I feel it. But then if you rewind history, everyone was getting married when they were 20.
Yeah, but that was a different time.
Yeah.
Like no social media and shit. Like,
Yeah.
no. So it was like
Yeah.
get married and stick with it even if you're unhappy.
I think that was a big thing. Oh, here's the other thing that's I thought was very interesting. So when they say they don't say 50% of couples get divorced. They say 50% of marriages end in divorce.
Yeah.
So here's the really interesting piece of that. They are not accounting for people that got married or divorced like 4 times.
Yeah.
Because if you get divorced once, I mean, there's people I know that have been divorced like
You
2,
think if you get divorced once,
3.
there's a high chance to do it again?
Exactly. So if you remove that factor,
Okay,
so it might
okay.
be less than 50.
Okay.
Maybe
Well,
not.
then a stat that goes the other way is that isn't counting the marriages that I know a lot of people that are split and not actually divorced and haven't lived together in 10 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
So, but
another
I'm
part.
saying like that's not a divorce. That's
A separation.
yeah. Does that count in the?
I don't know.
I know a lot of divorce. You know a lot of divorced people or no?
I mean, I wouldn't say a ton, but there's
I would say
What's
more
the
often
divorce
than
rate
not.
in the Indian community?
Probably low.
low.
Very
Super
low.
low.
yeah,
Probably
it's
very
low because of
Almost
arranged
non-existent, right?
arranged marriage.
Yeah.
That's an interesting
Yeah.
interesting
How do you
thing.
feel about that?
So
Arranged marriages.
So arranged marriage, I mean, historically, it was like the only way,
Yeah.
right, of getting married, like
Yeah.
95%.
Yeah.
But even while all my parents had arranged, or my parents' friends had arranged marriages, my parents didn't.
Yeah.
So and it's called a love marriage. So you either have an arranged marriage or a love marriage,
Yeah.
which is crazy to like talk about because in our eyes it's like all marriages are love marriages. We don't label them love marriages. But in that context,
if there is an arranged, there is a loved one.
Yeah. So for that reason, my parents they don't even know where to get started on arranged marriage. Like they told me once, they're like, and this was a couple years ago, they're like, you're on your own, man. Like, I don't even know like who to contact. Like they're not plugged into those networks.
That's hilarious.
Because like a lot of Indian people, like they grow up like they're all matching each other up.
Yeah.
And actually,
they love it. They love matching each other.
They do because
it's like Love Is Blind.
And the thing is, we believe that when you get somebody matched up, it's a huge source of karma.
Yeah.
So
wait, what?
You get karma, good karma.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
If you were the one that made the marriage, you feel good about yourself.
Yeah.
You're the matchmaker.
Exactly. I mean, you get to see them like living happily together, and you facilitated that. So, yeah.
But
anyway.
knowing what you know now and being where you are in life, if you had if somebody tried to arrange your marriage, right, like your parents, you'd be like, probably like you'd be like, fuck that.
No,
right?
because I'm dating a girl happily where
by choice though.
By choice. So like at this point, it's just way too late for that stuff. I don't think I would have like universally said it was bad, because I'll tell you why. So some of my friends or just like colleagues and stuff like that from Chicago, like they'd be like party guys, whatever, med students, dental, whatever. They're like just like us, like normal dudes, and like just going out, going crazy every weekend. And then their parents find them a wife,
and then it's over.
And dude, they end up being like total baddies. I'm like, bro. Your parents. I'm like, you're out
That's
here.
How it always
you're
is.
out here at 11 at 5 a.m. being a degenerate, and like now you're getting this fucking like.
Hand it to you.
Hand it to you. I'm like, bro, if it was like that, like arranged marriages can be fantastic.
No, I know. The same friend I was talking about earlier, that's all he says is his mom doesn't shut up about him dating an Indian girl. He has an older brother, and his older brother is like dating a white girl. And all his mom says is like, you have to, like if he's with an Indian, if he's with a white girl, you got to be.
Yeah, exactly. We can't have both of them. We can't lose them both.
Isn't that crazy? And then I've also met a lot of there's not a lot of Jewish people in Pittsburgh. I met a lot of Jewish people in Miami.
There's a ton here, of course.
Since I've been. A lot of New Yorker, like a lot of my friends are
We were at the Jewish Christmas, remember?
Exactly.
We were at Jewish Christmas.
That's like all my friends are Jewish. So like I'm whatever. I'm at the matzo ball on Christmas Eve.
Exactly.
I'm literally at the matzo ball on Christmas Eve.
I had a great time there.
Sick. Yeah. Bunch of Jewish girls. I told half of them I was Jewish or something. Anyway.
You're willing to convert.
But listen, what I just said was my point. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, Jewish girls will come up to me and be like, are you Jewish? Are you Jewish? And it's like in my opinion, it's like why the fuck does it matter? Like, what?
It matters a lot.
To them, it is it. Like, Jewish guys want to marry Jewish girls and Jewish, like, and I think because Indian people are like that.
It can be.
But Jewish people, I think, are by far, like, it's like a tight circle. That's like how they, you know what I mean? It's like their identity.
Because it's their holy.
Like my friends' moms are like, when are we can we find Daniel a nice Jewish girl? And it's like, why is that in the, like, what? How about a nice, pretty girl that is cool to everybody? Like, you know what I mean? Like, not like
no, they want
Jewish
an NJG or an NJB.
Like, that's crazy.
That's what they call them, nice Jewish boy.
I guess, I don't know if it's just a luxury I've had or that, like, I've had, you know, you get good things, you get bad things. Like, my parents, if I brought home literally a, like,
you don't have to say
like
it, bro.
a creature, like an alien, like they would be like,
okay,
good job, Joe. Like, is she nice to you?
I guess
like,
we'll try to get
you know what I
mine
mean?
too.
Like,
Mine too. Yeah.
I could literally bring home, like, even if, if someone was like mean and shit now, but like physical looking, like, what? I could literally bring anything. Like, okay, they're nice. Okay, then you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I was blessed in that. And same way with like what I want to do with my life. I was blessed with, they're pretty supportive of like whatever direction I want to go. Because we were talking earlier, like, my friend, his mom wants him to be a doctor, and he makes great money doing filmmaking. Like, why would he be a doctor? You know what I mean? Like, and I guess it's a blessing. You never got pressure from your parents, like? Well, you're a vet, so like,
no.
They were hyped.
It was like this. So, you know, I decided I wanted to be a vet, and my parents, not only did I grow up with dogs, but they, growing up, had dogs.
Yeah.
Again, super rare.
Yeah.
So like, animal lovers, the whole family, animal lovers. So like, it wasn't that crazy or far-fetched. But we did have the conversation because, when you're going to vet school, there's really no difference in coursework for applying to either vet or medical school.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of people that it's harder to get into vet school because there's so many fewer schools.
Yeah.
So their backup would be like, all right, if I don't get into vet school, I'll go to med school. At least it's easier to get into.
It's crazy.
And it's crazy to think about because we're thinking about animals and
Backup's
people.
med school.
But the truth is, there's just not that many schools.
And you got to learn a lot more, I guess, anatomy.
Species?
Yeah, I guess it's different makeups for every species.
It's just two different professions. I mean, there's no point comparing them against one another. But my parents did say, they're like, this is your time to make a decision.
Yeah.
Like, you could just go to med school.
Oh, did they say that?
They
Yeah.
could. They're like, I don't want you to look back and regret
like,
this.
I wish I went to med school.
Yeah, and I haven't, frankly, because I think I'm very lucky that I get to do what I do.
If you ask me, I think I'd rather work on animals.
Dude, I get to hug and kiss my patients, and I
They
do
don't
it all
talk
the time.
back usually.
And it not be weird.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. We get cute, like
Yeah, you're allowed to hug and kiss them, right?
it's acceptable.
on a good day. Like, I'm getting puppies come in, kittens come in.
How many dogs' buttholes you put your finger at?
Oh, my technician does that.
Oh, you don't even have to do
No,
that?
I've outsourced
So you
that.
get all the
That's
perks.
true white
Listen,
glover.
in my setup right now, I
The
really
dog's like, huh?
What the fuck you doing back there?
No, I'm
Sniffing
the good guy.
only.
I'm the good guy all
Yeah.
the time. To the client, to the animals.
yeah.
I'm doing all the nice
Yeah.
stuff.
You're like, I have nothing sharp and-
and then my technicians are fantastic. They're knowledgeable.
They take the
They're-
heat.
They're my hands. They go in there and
Yeah.
a lot of times my voice, they explain a lot to the clients for me, especially because I don't speak fluent Spanish. Do you guys?
No,
little
I'm not
bit.
from
Little-
Florida. I'm from Pennsylvania. He doesn't have an excuse.
Yeah, un
He's-
poquito, right?
right?
Like,
Yeah.
He
No, I
should
mean,
know it.
I
He's
grew
from
up
South
here,
Florida.
so
Oh, okay.
yeah, I speak
He should know it.
good amount of Spanish. But in India, what's the vet field like?
Dude,
Is
I
that
couldn't
like-
tell you.
Really?
I just don't know.
No.
Probably not like here. I don't think any country has as developed of a vet field as America.
But you're saying so like
Oh,
in
really?
India.
We take the best care of our animals?
Just because we're just willing to spend more than the
Yeah,
rest of the world.
yeah.
Yeah.
But in India, having pets is like a luxury, kind of. So wouldn't like the doctor that goes along with those pets like also be kind of like revered?
I
or-
don't know.
Is that not how
I
it
just
works?
don't know. I don't think I've ever even met a vet in India.
Really?
I was like a little kid,
Yeah,
so like,
yeah,
it's not
okay.
even like a thing.
Well,
You-
chances are, if your parents were pushing you to not be a vet and be a people doctor, maybe not.
I don't know. I mean, they never pushed me against it. They
Not
just
pushed, but suggested.
They were like,
are
just,
you sure?
Just keep in mind, one of these professions, like you'll make a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing.
What you think? Oh, people doctor make
Oh
more?
fuck yeah, man!
really?
But I for some reason I knew my life would be more interesting and fulfilling if I
As
went
of
this
it-
route.
yeah.
And I knew it wouldn't be from having boatloads of cash, but I knew that I'd have a unique lifestyle and one that I could like be proud of. So
Well,
I
dude,
went
you
that
took
route.
that to the mat. You went on a Netflix show, so that kind of that like takes making your life unusual to the max, right? Like,
Bro, that's
so
what I
a
want.
vet isn't that unusual compared to what you ended up doing, like,
Dude,
right?
I don't want to die like with a boring life, man. I want
Hell
to do
no.
all the crazy shit I possibly can.
Nah, I think that's the way to think about it. I think I've kind of learned about that recently. I think after college, like I went to college and it was like what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? It's like middle school, high school, and then where I'm from, it was kind of like my grades were fucked, and then you get looked bad at if you don't go to college. You know what I mean? Like if I were to go to trade school or like go to community college, in my area, it was like. In my high school, like the way you were feeling, it was like, nah.
Failure.
It was like, dude, what? Like everyone would talk about you and shit. And I remember applying to schools, and I didn't get into a lot of schools because my grades were fucked. And I already told my football coach I didn't want to play football. And my dad came in my room one day and was like, hey, Joe, we can go to community college. Like, it's not that. And I was like,
Uh-oh.
fuck no. So I went back to my high school football coach, and I was like, do any of those schools like still want me to play? And he's like, let me see, like whatever. And I got hit up by 2 schools.
Oh, is that how you went to
committed
school?
Committed
Oh,
to the
sick.
one like right away and played for 4 years. And then like I think those were decisions that were made for me kind of without me really knowing.
Because of your environment?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
that makes a
just
huge deal, doesn't
your
it?
like I don't know, like that, you know what I mean? Those were made for me. Where if I were going to go back, I love playing football. I went for almost free, so it's not that I'm not like I'm in debt or anything. Got a degree, which is
Great.
never a bad thing.
Absolutely not.
But has anyone ever asked me my degree or my GPA or like what I studied or what class?
Well, not
No.
with what you do.
Exactly, and this is what I want to do. I don't want to do something where someone, you know what I mean? Like,
But you
if I
didn't know
were to-
that was you didn't know you wanted to do this, right?
I kind of knew since I
You
was
knew
young.
something.
It was a
It
way.
was something. You don't know what it is.
Put it
but
this
it's
way,
something.
I would have regretted it a lot. I don't regret it because I went for pretty much free, but I would have regretted it a lot if I was in $200,000 worth of debt.
Oh,
right now.
dude,
You
yeah.
know
And
what I
then you're
mean?
stuck. That's like the
With a what?
the
With a
trap.
marketing degree.
That's the trap, man.
Ooh,
Yeah.
with a marketing degree. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, I have a degree and it's sick, but like, no one gives a fuck about my marketing
Especially
degree.
not in Miami, man. I feel like you can come here and
Nah.
do whatever you want around these parts.
I don't know. The only
Around these-
good thing, I mean, it might
It's the
fuck
Wild
everything
West
up.
out here.
What, here?
Yeah, in Miami.
Wait, what
Wild
were you
West.
telling me about Chat GPT?
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, yeah, I did bring that up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Well, so really what it is, in addition to working as a vet, actually because of working as a vet, I've kind of been exposed to some of the problems that both veterinarians and pet owners face. And one of those problems is people very rarely have their pet's medical records
Yeah.
in a handy, convenient place to
Yeah.
access. And so when they go to a new vet or the ER, something's wrong with their pet, they don't have any idea what the heck their pets had before, tests run, prescriptions, et cetera, et cetera. So then they end up paying for these tests to be done again,
yeah.
or it takes 20, 30 minutes to get all the information out. Or even outside of that, if you're traveling with your pet, if you're going to, staying in a hotel, traveling across state lines, you need some information on
Papers,
your
yeah.
pet, right? So we're creating a platform called Petster that will store all your pet's relevant medical data in one place. But the layer on top of that is we analyze those records and give you education points on every prescription the pet's ever had, every diagnosis the pet's ever had. It'll give you the possible causes, the treatments, aftercare.
Using AI.
Using AI. Petster.ai. So
You already trademarked it?
it's all
got-
good to go,
alright,
baby.
good.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
no way.
visit petster.ai. Drop your email in. So we're looking to launch right around Thanksgiving.
Shut up.
We're doing some beta testing right now, and that's like, working as a vet, I see the need for this every single day. People come in and they're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So one of the services of Petster is we will locate your pet's medical records for you.
Yeah.
So looking at the documents you've already uploaded, we can contact the animal clinics
And they have the right. No way.
get them all in. So that's
sick.
kind
Who
of
came up with that idea?
that was me.
That was you?
Yeah,
That was me.
that was me.
I love that.
That was me.
Dude,
And,
that
it's,
was-
and you know what? It's because I'm like, what would make my life easier every single day?
Yeah.
And then could this help other people too?
Yep.
Dude, the best ideas are born out of a necessity that
Yeah.
you see yourself, and then you see
like
that
when you're
idea
big.
all the way through to the
Well,
finish
you
line.
just thought
it's
of
going to
it
be a baller product. I
Just
know
because
it.
people would walk in and be like, I don't know where any of my pet's stuff is,
Well,
but like he's.
It was more specifically like this. So in the rare occasion somebody does have their pet records, it's like this big stack.
Yeah.
And it's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
it's gonna take me or
Yeah.
it's gonna be my
So even
technician.
if they
I'm
do-
gonna make my
yeah.
technician do it. It's gonna take like 15, 20 minutes to like put it in chronological order.
Yeah. So even if they do have the record, you're like, what the heck, all right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the solution is
People don't take them as serious as human medical records.
they're just
Yeah.
not organized. I mean, people aren't organized with their own human stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, let alone their pets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And the pets aren't keeping it organized.
Yeah, they're not doing us any favors. But, the software will take that stack, analyze every page, put it in chronological order, and then you can just select what information you want. So now, as a vet, that makes my job easier because this 20 minutes of work is now 3 minutes of work. As a pet owner, you have everything in one place.
Yeah.
So,
All right, give us your ads. I think we've been going for like an hour and a half, honestly.
yeah,
Yeah.
my bad.
No, this is great. This is great. We were rolling.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I'm just the puppy doc on Insta. I don't really. I'm just too lazy to do too many accounts.
Shake, wait, how do you pronounce your real name?
Abhishek.
Abhishek.
Abhishek. Yeah.
Abhishek.
Yeah. So shake is in it. It just spelled.
Wait, that's your whole first name.
Abhishek.
Abhishek.
Chatterjee.
And then just
Chatterjee is my last name.
Shake.
So I go by
Chat-
Shake.
yeah.
Yeah. But
Shake's a lit name, actually.
Shake's good.
I think
it's carried me far.
It is. It is.
No,
That's a good name.
how much of all of this is just my name at the end of the day?
Yeah,
you know? Even if there's no personality attached, like Shake will get you in the door. It'll get you in the door.
Shake the puppy doctor. I want to meet this fucking guy. Anything coming up you want to shout out?
No, honestly,
you got the app out. I'm glad we talked about that.
I'm pumped about this app. I mean, anybody who has a pet will benefit. Petster.ai. Go drop your email. We'll let you know when it launches. And then the puppy doc on Insta.
Do you see yourself like going on another reality show, like big Netflix, MTV,
So
anything?
actually, we were talking to Bravo to do Below Deck as guests. So they gave us a window of August to September, but we're so close, we know that's out.
Yeah.
So now we're looking at the next window.
Yeah.
But like in the springtime. But
to be
guests
my God, because
yacht.
they think you would be a good asshole.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, and actually my buddy who like is going to be part of the group, he was on Below Deck as a chef. He got fired.
Who?
Chef Ben?
No, not Chef Ben was on my House
Chef
of
Ben.
Villains show.
He was
on
he?
Yeah.
I met Chef Ben. I know Chef Ben.
Oh man.
Chef Ben. No, anyway, chefs are all,
He's a good asshole too. He's a good reality asshole.
Who was it? Who was the chef that's in the
Ryan McCown, Chef Ryan McCown. He was on the Below Deck Down Under.
Oh,
it wasn't earlier. It was just the Australian one.
Okay.
But anyway, it's gonna be like us and our girlfriends, and we're just gonna be the
How do you plan to play it? Just obnoxious.
Well, you know, this
like,
is to be
you're gonna be the last one to go to bed. I know they always hate that shit. Like, oh, fuck this guy.
They don't like that? I don't.
No, because they
got to
stay up. One person has to stay up until all the guests go to bed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, you just told him. He's
yeah. Now,
thank you, bro. Thank you for the suggestion. Actually, I'll keep that in mind.
Keep that one in the back pocket.
Yeah. Honestly, no. The Ryan is gonna be. This is his deal more than mine. I'm more just like a guest of him and such. So I'm gonna let him.
No, as soon as they get a piece of Shake, you're gonna be the. He's gonna be a guest of you. No, but thank you for coming, man.
Yeah, thanks, bro.
Shake, everybody.
Cool.
LNF. What month is it?
Good
August.
stuff. We're all set. All right.
You're listening to Joey Joy Radio.